Farah Hannoun here in Abu Dhabi alongside Muhammad Mokaev, who is grappling. Tomorrow he takes on Rogerio Bontorin. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Good to be back in Abu Dhabi, but on small stage this time.
We'll talk about that in a second. It's good to see you. You were originally supposed to grapple against Raul Rosas Jr. They pull him from the event. Did you get any reason why it's no longer him?
I think because he's under contract and they have right to do this stuff. Because I don't have any information now to guess because of me or because of him. I cannot say because I don't have any facts to say.
What do you mean because of you?
Maybe they didn't want me to compete against UFC fighter who is in high division, big risk. If I beat him, I don't know. Yeah.
You talk about that, like what would you say? I know obviously what went down was very surprising when you fought Manel Kape in Manchester. You get the win, and then we hear what Dana had to say in the press conference. First off, kind of what was your reaction when you heard all of that? Did this all come to you by surprise? Did you have an inkling that something was going on? Like what in your mind happened?
I was feeling this because it was my last fight on the contract. I was feeling something not going right. I don't think it's because of what happened between me and Manel in the hotel, because usually they change contract, not on the last deal, maybe like two fights left, but I was on last fight deal and I asked for a new contract. I couldn't get and I felt something going on.
Okay, and then you hear obviously what Dana had to say, and then they say they're not going to have you back, and it seemed it was a bit aggressive from Dana's side. What do you feel like is going on, in your opinion? Because you know, a lot of people are very confused, right? A lot of people don't understand what's going on, like what happened. You're saying it's not the fight, right? Yeah. You're saying it's not your fighting style. You know, we've seen other fighters that maybe Dana isn't a huge fan of when it comes to their style, if it's heavy grapple. But what did something happen? Like what in your opinion is going on?
I think maybe what between me and Manel, what happened in UFC PR and then continued in Manchester, but why the contract didn't continue and I was on last fight deal. So I've been told like I need to have more finishes inside the octagon, but I'm 7-0, 4 finishes. I was 23 years old. I don't know what else finish. I cannot get 7 out of 7. I tried my best. I came out from like all big injuries, still competing, still accepting the big names. Now in UFC I have 5 fighters who I beat, all in top 15. And I think I just need to sit down and talk to Dana. I spoke to Hunter.
Okay.
I spoke to Hunter.
This time?
Or straight after what happened in Manchester.
Yep.
He said we will see you back in UFC, but but I just maybe they want to see me maybe mature more outside the octagon. But I don't understand like, but whatever happened, I'm ready to come back. Now I'm fighting in Brave.
Yes.
So whenever they call me, I'm ready to.
So the goal here is you want to resign with the UFC.
I want to become UFC champion. Yeah, and I knew I could. I knew I could because I was very, very close to it.
Yep. And you've re-signed with Brave. Do you have any like news coming up soon in terms of your next fight? Or are we looking at a title fight? When can fans expect you to compete in MMA again?
Brave. I fought in Brave before UFC.
Yep.
Brave is like my home, and Sheikh Khalid supporting us. Doesn't matter whatever happened. He said you will come back anytime. He offered me good contract, and I really appreciate in these hard times when I went through in July, August. He brought me back to Bahrain and gave me a good contract. What I was happy with.
Are you hoping it's a title fight?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to fight to anyone. If the title is vacant right now, there's no champion. But whoever they offer me, I'm ready to fight.
Brave has a lot of talented flyweights. It's a good roster. We can't say that about all promotions, right? So was that part of the reason? I know you have a great relationship with Brave because you used to fight there, but was that part of the reason why this was kind of an easy decision for you because there's actually a lot of good talent for you to fight?
I think there's nothing between Brave and UFC. There's nothing personal like other organizations like you can mention them a lot. which try to compete against UFC. But Brave has always been good. There's the guys like Topuria, Nagano, there's Chimaev, Albazia. There's many guys who came through Brave to UFC, and there's the matchmaker Shahid is always like open to negotiate the contract. He doesn't just hold you down, doesn't just sign you. If he doesn't want, he'll let you go.
What does your gut instinct tell you? Like, how much do you feel like you need to do? Do you think it's a certain amount of fights? Do you like, how would you map out your path back to the UFC? That's the goal, right? So what do you think needs to be done? You said they probably want to see you mature outside of the octagon,
yep.
But what do you feel like needs to be done? Realistically, when do you feel like you can get back?
I think 1-2 fights, maybe 1, maybe 2. I think that's the amount of fights I need to do. But I just want to stay busy. That's why I booked. I was supposed to fight earlier. I had a car crash and then little injury, and I just sat back a little bit.
And you were there in UFC in August in Abu Dhabi. You're here. UFC is on Saturday. Are you hoping to talk to and sit down with anyone? Is there any discussions that you potentially sitting down with Hunter or Dana? Or
if there's possibility, we can sit down. I already talked to Hunter. I don't need to like run and ask for another chance, and I already spoke to him. He's a man of his word. If he didn't want to work with me, he would say, "You'll never come back." That's how UFC deal with fighting. He didn't need to call me and talk to me, and he told me what I need to do, and I will do my best to come back.
So what you were told is they just need to see some maturity from you. Is that what you were told? Is that the message here? Is that what they're looking for?
I think they send me back to school again from the college, right? But I try now. This event helps me to control my emotions as well. Like Patchy Mix called me out.
Yeah.
I was like close to reply him on Twitter, but when I saw him, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And we got on each other. But maybe if it's 1 year ago, I think we would kick off here. But now I come down. He's a very cool guy, and I just need to be more like that, because sometimes I think when somebody tweets something, they take it too personal.
Yep.
But realistically, people just want to make match between.
Yeah.
Now I start understanding the Euro show more. I would say show business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any talks of you potentially signing with someone else after the UFC, PFL? I know there were like 2 contradicting statements from PFL. I believe it was Don Davis who said no, and then Pete Murray was like, yeah, we could build a flyweight division around Mokaev. So 2 conflicting...
No, it wasn't Don... what's his name? His name, Don Davis.
Don Davis?
No, it wasn't him. It was Ray Sefo and...
Ray Sefo, excuse me, yeah.
And the other matchmaker with the glasses on.
I'm drawing a blank here, but I think it was Pete Murray that said he would...
But Pete Murray backed me up. He
Yep.
said we can create the
flyweight
division just around him. I'm happy they said that, because it's truth. It's like they came out saying we never offered him anything. That it was a lie. Mm-hmm. Maybe they wasn't aware of that.
Okay.
So there's 2 ways to understand this. But I think maybe like Ray Sefo wasn't aware what Pete Murray offered my friends. But there's no division, and if I would leave UFC and go to organization, there's a Brave. I don't need to go anywhere else.
Okay, we'll wrap up with this. Rogerio Bontorin, this is a fight that you could have had in MMA, right? He's someone. Have you watched him compete before? Are you familiar with him? And what do you think of his grappling skills?
He's an amazing opponent. I tried to talk to him, but he doesn't speak English. I'm like, how have you been in UFC so long? Like, he fought against Kai Kara France. I watched that fight live when I was younger, and I watched his fight against Magomed Bibulatov. He was undefeated fighter from Chechnya coming to UFC, and I have watched that fight. I think he's a great opponent. I have been offered Dominic Cruz. I have been offered Sergio Pettis for this event. I said yes to both of them. I'm underweight to compete here. I was underweight this morning, and I just want to enjoy without putting weight, compete, and just feel ex-veterans how they were. I think he's a great opponent, great guy, and I'm happy to share cage with him.
Well, looking forward to it, Mo. I really appreciate the time. Hopefully we'll see you in the UFC maybe next year or the year after.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.